Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm glad you could make it. My name is Eric, and today we're going to be talking about the one issue that I've had to deal with my Stay Fresh freeze dryer and how today that issue has officially been resolved. Let me give you a little backstory so that you can know where I'm coming from. And to be honest, I'm not sure how many people are actually dealing with this issue. I may be in the minority on this one, but that's neither here nor there because as of today, it's no longer an issue. Where I live, the power grid isn't very reliable and we tend to get lots of power outages. Generally when it rains a lot, and that's usually between the months of May and November. And then of course, whenever it's super windy, we'll get a lot of power outages, and that's between the months of December and April. And so pretty much year round, you can expect power outages pretty frequently. And herein lies the problem. The Stay Fresh freeze dryer did not have a system in place to automatically restart the freezing or drying cycle in the event of power failure. And so what would happen if you lost power, the machine would obviously shut off, and then when power was restored, it would just boot back up to the home menu, but it wouldn't continue the cycle. And truth be told, this is the only issue that I've had with the Stay Fresh freeze dryer since we bought it 5 or 6 months ago. Now, thankfully, none of our batches of freeze-dried food got ruined, and coincidentally, all of the power outages that we experienced happened during the daytime. So when the power was restored, we could just walk over to the freeze dryer and start it back up manually. But it was something that I thought about every single night that our freeze dryer was running. Is tonight going to be the night that we lose power, I'm sleeping, and the next thing you know, I'll wake up to a batch of thawed and spoiled food? We can't have that happen. And so I called Stay Fresh to talk to them about this issue. Now, here's something you need to know about Stay Fresh, and this mainly applies to those of you who are currently in the market for a freeze dryer. If you already own a Stay Fresh freeze dryer, then you know what I'm about to say. But when you call Stay Fresh for whatever reason, customer support, technical service, it doesn't really matter, the person that answers the phone, at least as of right now, is the owner of the company. The owner of the company also happens to be the gentleman who designed and created the Stay Fresh freeze dryer. So you're talking to the guy, you know what I'm saying? There's no messing around. His name is Tim, and he is all about taking care of his customers. We're talking about customer service that is miles ahead of the competition. Anyway, I'm on the phone with Tim. I'm explaining this issue. I'm like, Tim, you have an almost perfect freeze dryer. The only problem is that it doesn't restart when we lose power. He said, Eric, I am so sorry you're having to deal with that. Give me a couple of weeks to see what we can do to fix this issue. And that was basically it. Hung up the phone. And sure enough, about 3 weeks went by and I got an email from Tim, one of those short and sweet emails. Basically, it said, Eric, we've fixed the issue. We've created an update. We're beta testing it in our units right now. We should have it completely finished in 1 week. I'll email you the update once it's done. Well, guess what? As of yesterday, I am super pleased to announce that I have the first official update from Stay Fresh that fixes the issue where your machine doesn't automatically restart the cycle in the event you have a power outage. And like I said at the beginning of this video, I may be alone in this issue. I may be in the minority, and that's okay. But this is still one heck of an update to have if you have a Stay Fresh unit, because let's face it, you never know when the power is going to go out, and you certainly don't want it to go out in the event that you're running a cycle. Now, there's a pretty decent chance that all of the units, you know, from this day moving forward are going to have this update incorporated into the system. But if you are watching this video, you know, check the date that it was posted. And if you bought your Stay Fresh unit before this date, you might want to get this particular update. I'll tell you how to get it at the end of this video. But for now, let's get it on this flash drive and update the system. It's super easy. If you choose to do this update, you're going to get it by email. This is what it's going to look like. And I just simply transferred it from my email to my desktop. And I'm going to right click on that and extract the file. It's currently in a zip format. And I typically extract it to the folder that it's in, so I don't change a whole lot here. I just hit extract, and there we go. A new window opens up with the extracted folder in it, and that's what we need. And now we need to get that folder onto your flash drive. So stick a blank flash drive into your computer, and a new window will pop up, just like that. So let me separate these two windows so that you can see what I'm doing easier. But on the left, you have the source file. On the right, you have your flash drive. Left click and hold the folder that says compile. And while you're holding it, drag that over into the folder that is your USB drive. Release the left click button from your mouse and you will have effectively transferred your files from your desktop to your USB drive. And we now need to get this USB drive into our Stay Fresh freeze dryer. Let's do that now. Now we're at the freeze dryer. The first thing we want to do is power the unit on, just like so. Once you have it powered on, we're going to stick the USB drive into the USB port. And there is a little bit of a rubber guard, so we do want to remove that rubber guard.
and then just go ahead and insert that flash drive just like this. You might see some flashing lights, and that's totally okay. On the front of your freeze dryer, this is what your screen's going to look like. Once you enter in that USB stick, it's going to say upgrade setting. You're going to click the option that says upgrade HMI data. Once you do that, the system is going to automatically upgrade or update. It's going to reboot. It only takes about 15 seconds. After it reboots, you're more than likely going to see this upgrade settings screen again. Just hit cancel. We can now remove the USB stick, so let's do that. And while we're here, let's go ahead and replace the rubber guard so no debris gets into that slot. To finish the update, we need to click the settings option, that's the bottom right hand corner. Then we need to click the freeze drying settings option, top left hand corner, and you're going to be met with this screen. And let me just start off by saying that this isn't a screen where you just want to start changing numbers. These particular numbers are important to the default settings and the algorithms, and you can really screw things up. So don't mess with any of these values unless you're specifically told to by StayFresh. What we are going to press though is the next button right there in the bottom right hand corner because we want to move on to the next page. And here's where we're going to make our adjustments. Notice right there at the bottom, you have two boxes with zeros in them. We need to change those numbers. That first box, so we're going to click that box, we need that to be 180. There we go. And the second box, the zero right here, we need to click it and we need to change that to 900. And once you have those two boxes changed, your update is officially finished. Basically what you're doing is you're adjusting the compressor delay and the vacuum delay, and we'll talk a little bit more about what you're actually updating here towards the end of this video. But once those two numbers are changed, you can go ahead and click the back button, back again, and you are back at the home page. Your system will automatically restart in the event of a power failure.
All right, guys, our system is updated. We're no longer going to have that issue. And for those of you that are curious as to what you've actually updated on your system, let me explain. The first update is a compressor delay update. And what that basically means is that when power is restored to your system, your compressor is going to wait 3 minutes before it kicks back on. And the reason that's in place is to protect the compressor. The second update is a vacuum delay, and much like the first update, this particular update delays when the vacuum turns on. When power is restored to your unit, you have a 15-minute delay before the vacuum pump kicks on. The reason this is so important is because you want your vacuum chamber to refreeze before that pump kicks on. You don't want your vacuum pump to automatically kick back on and you have liquid or water or whatever inside that chamber that's not frozen. That's going to get sucked into the pump and it could mess up your pump. So the second update is to protect your pump. The third and final update is an algorithm that tells your freeze dryer whether it needs to resume its cycle when power is restored or whether it needs to start the cycle from the beginning. And this update was put in place to protect all the systems, the compressor, the vacuum pump, your food, of course, and the overall health of your freeze dryer. So, for example, if the power gets restored and your food needs to be refrozen, your freeze dryer will take care of that. And there you have it, folks, the official update from StayFresh that fixes a system restart in the event of a power outage. Let me know in the comment section below whether or not you have experienced an issue similar to this. If you happen to have bought your freeze dryer like I did prior to the day this video was posted, you might want to reach out to StayFresh and ask them to send you a copy of it so that you can update your system. I don't see why you wouldn't. I'm going to put the email address for StayFresh in the description box as well as the pinned comment. All you got to do is email Tim and request something like, update for automatic restart in the event of a power failure. That's a bit long-winded. Anyway, something to the tune of that. I'm sure he'll know what you're talking about. Leave him a little message. Let him know you saw this video and he'll be happy to send that to you. You can update your system. It's super easy to do. If you're in the market for a freeze dryer and you'd like to do a little research on freeze dryers that actually do what they're supposed to do right out of the box, then I'm going to put a link in the description box below to StayFresh freeze dryers. Be sure to check them out. Tim was also kind enough to extend a discount code for those of you who want to purchase a freeze dryer. You can save a couple bucks. I'll put the discount code in the description box as well. All right, folks, thanks a lot for watching. If you have any questions, you know where they go. And if you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you are new to this channel and you enjoy freeze drying food, long-term food storage, cool recipes, charcuterie, all of the above, be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell because what we have lined up for the second half of this year is going to absolutely blow your mind and I don't want you to miss a single episode. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.